Hey everyone, how's it going? 2019's wrapping up, and I decided that, you know what, we're gonna do a list. A list on what? Well, the top 5 animated shows of 2019. You're probably wondering, why am I doing animated shows? Don't I usually do comics? Shut up. So, yeah, let's get started. Oh, and before I forget, I should set up some ground rules. Rule 1, I am only doing animated shows. I'm not doing movies. Even if they're movies based on shows, I'm not going to talk about them. So, no Steven Universe the movie, and no Invader Zim Enter the Florpus. 2, I'm going to cover shows that have actually finished their seasons, or at least, completed. So, no Rick and Morty Season 4, and no Tangled Season 3. And 3, I'm only going to be covering Western animation. I'm not going to do anime. First of all, anime is snarksling. And also, if I do anime, well, yeah, most of the list would just end up being anime. So, yeah, sorry. No Fire Force, no Dr. Stone, and no Beastars. Though I will say, Beastars, holy crap, the opening is gorgeous. Seriously, just look up Beastars opening, and just watch the opening alone. It's just fantastic. It's a great music video. So, yeah. Let's begin. Starting with number 5, Final Space. So, by the time that's recording, Final Space has reached 2 seasons. And I gotta say, Season 2, holy crap. Now, before I go further about it, I should explain what Final Space is about. Final Space is a series made by YouTuber Olin Rogers about a man by the name of Gary Goodspeed who ends up being tasked by protecting a creature known as Mooncake that, well, let's just say is pretty much the key to, saving or destroying the universe. Season 1 was pretty good, and it did start off as a standard sci-fi show, but ended up becoming a very interesting series, being a great blend of comedy and drama, especially with the drama. Holy crap, when it gets dramatic, it gets hard to watch in some cases. When I first heard about this show, I was a little hesitant to checking out, since Olin Rogers, not saying he's a bad comedian or anything, but his blend of comedy was not always for me. There were some points where I was just like, okay, this is getting more annoying than funny. But after watching Season 1, I was hooked, and Season 2 kept me on there. Season 2 also does the very bold thing where it changes up the dynamic. Not just with, how Gary is in by the end of Season 1, but also with the characters. With some characters in new positions, or, hell, some who are taking bigger steps than they did before. When it comes to the villains, man, these villains are interesting. In Season 1, we only had one villain, the Lord Commander, but in here we got several factions, and without spoiling too much, I will say that these factions are pretty great. Though I will say that, yeah, Hug Fluffles. Oh, man. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if they were hoping for him to for fans to call him by his real name, but yeah, Hug Fluffles is a dangerous threat. Do not let the name and goofy Tubby look fool you. That guy is creepy as hell. But yeah. Next up, we have number 4. 3 Below. Continuing with sci-fi, we have Guillermo del Toro's next step into the Tales of Arcadia series. 3 Below has completed its series so far, and I gotta say, it was a good series. I was surprised that it only did 2 seasons, since the previous show, Troll Hunters, did at least 3 seasons, or 3 parts as they usually call it. And yeah, they are really good shows. With 3 Below, it focuses on the adventures of a brother and sister who, in standard sci-fi tales, are a prince and princess, or king and queen in waiting, who have to leave their home world because a radical dictator has taken over their homeland. Now, when it comes to the main villain, he is probably the weakest element here, since he just kind of comes off as an alien version of the villain from the first show, Troll Hunter. Hell, even from the design, they look pretty similar, but as for the other villains, they are pretty damn intimidating and have some really cool designs, especially the bounty hunters. And when it comes to the Earth threats, without spoiling too much, I doubt we're going to be seeing the last of them. I feel like they'll be coming back later. As for the three main characters, they're really good, and I will say that there are some points where I was not expecting them to go the way they did. Especially with the kid's bodyguard, who you expect him to go one way, but when you find out the big twist with him, you're kind of very shocked to see that, and how they develop is really well done. But yeah, if you like Guillermo del Toro like me, or just want to see a really good sci-fi show that everyone can watch, yeah, recommend checking this out. Number 3, Infinity Train. Now, with Infinity Train, holy crap, this took forever to get out, but it was worth the wait. Infinity Train is currently going to get to its next season next year, but the first season was really good. Now, if you've seen the pilot, you know that it's about a girl named Tulip who has a strange number on her hand and is trapped on a train that seems to have different worlds and different cars. While she tries to get out, she's assisted by a corgi by the name of Atticus and a robot named 1-1 that has two personalities, one that's really happy and one that's really sad. During this whole adventure, Tulip goes through each cart and starts to learn more about herself, and eventually goes through, well, I don't want to spoil it, but let's just say, damn. Much like Three Below and Final Space, this is an emotional roller coaster, but the subject is very different here. While in Final Space we do dive into some issues like abandonment, this one dives into an issue that is very relatable to some people. And you really do feel for Tulip here, because she doesn't really know how to handle it. I don't want to spoil what it is, but again, there are points in there where I'm not going to lie, I got a little teary-eyed. I felt bad for the character, and you really want her to get through this. It was a great show, and yeah, Season 1, the way it ended, really made me want to see more. And though, without spoiling too much, I doubt that we're going to be continuing Tulip's story, I'm curious to see who the next passenger will be, what the new passenger will be dealing with. And yeah, I know who it is, I'm just saying. Number 2, Young Justice, Outsiders. Oh boy. Oh man, Young Justice, how I have missed you. And man, when it came back with a vengeance. If you were like me, you were pissed off when Young Justice got canceled after the second season. And when you saw that it was coming back on the DC streaming service, you were pretty hyped. This was a great comeback, and also, a really big step. Unlike the first two seasons, which were aired on Cartoon Network, they had to follow a few rules. This one doesn't really have to do it that much. It is a little bit darker, and it does get brutal in some areas. Especially for, let's just say, a certain king and queen that was bloody as hell. And it was great. The acting, the character development, and how they incorporate elements of the DC universe was just glorious. It really has become its own world, especially this season where a lot of things have changed. Aqualad is now Aquaman and leader of the Justice League. Batman and the group are kind of at odds. Lex Luthor and the Light have pretty much taken over a good chunk of not just the U.S. government and the world, able to even control where the League can actually operate. And while this is going on, Darkseid is raining hell throughout the galaxy. This is just amazing. We get to see these characters develop even further, with Zero Boy no longer being a superhero and actually engaged to Megan. Nightwing kind of doing a Grayson thing, which is really neat. And Batman starting Batman Incorporated, though it's very different from the Batman Incorporated from the Grant Morrison run. Also, we get new characters, which being the Outsiders. Geoforce, who's pretty close to his comic book counterpart, though they do have him be more hot-headed. Halo, who goes through a massive character change, and even an origin change. Forager, which, well, it's interesting, I'll just say that. and Cyborg, which, damn, Cyborg is awesome. They do change up his origin a little bit, but they do stick with the concept that was done in the Justice League movie and also the Justice League War animated film, where he is linked to Apocalypse. Though how he's linked is the interesting part. It's really great. We get to dive into not just the core team, but also other characters as well, like Black Lightning, who goes through a really serious crisis, and by the end of it, you are really satisfied where his character goes. As for the villains, they continue to be complete and utter bastards, but you love them for it. Especially with Granny Goodness, which, I was not expecting that. Speaking of the new gods, we also get some really great deep cuts of the new gods as well. Some that I did not expect them to go, and some I didn't even know about. Seriously, this is a great show that has an amazing cast and an amazing ending. Seriously, my jaw dropped when it happened. Seriously, go check out, I've been saying seriously a lot, but whatever, go check out Young Justice Outsiders. Now for some honorable mentions. Amphibia, great show, though it's very slow paced, even by my standards. It did a good job with the characters and getting us used to the town, but yeah, season 1 was just kind of an okay season. Next up, we got Dark Crystal Resistance. As much as I liked Age of Resistance, I'm one of those people that I'm not really sure whether or not I should count it as an animated show. Puppetry has always been that weird in-between line of animation and live action, but again, it's a really good show. It's epic as hell, and it really does keep the spirit of what the original Jim Henson film was about. Now, for number 1, Primal. Okay. Seriously, if Genndy Tartakovsky ever does anything for the Marvel Universe, it has to be something on the Savage Land, or hell, they own Conan. Do Conan. Because this was just epic as hell. Now, to the people that don't know what Primal is a series that focuses on a caveman by the name of Spear, who teams up with a dinosaur. Yes, I know, they didn't exist in the same time, but screw science. This is epic. With a dinosaur by the name of Fang. After they both lost their families, they team up and take out the creatures that, ruin their lives. Realizing that they're stronger together, the two travel the world and pretty much just try to survive. This is a really great show and also does a great thing of doing the action speak louder than words. There is no dialogue throughout this entire show, with a few grunts from Spear and maybe some other primitives. And the action, oh my god, it is honestly, it sticks to its name. It is primal. It is angry. It is savagery. It is bloody as all hell. And with an ending that just really makes you frustrated. The characters are likable, even though you don't really get to hear them talk. You know their pain. You know what they're going through. Even Fang, with her limited range of emotion, you really can tell where she's feeling. And yeah, if you love Genndy Tartakovsky's work, you're going to definitely love this show. And that's the list. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Almost forgot. Have a happy new year.